He's getting older.
Hey, welcome to Con Air! Oh, hit the follow button!
But not wiser.
Pay that man his money!
This is The Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to The Lefty Show. I am your host, Lefty. Glad to be here with all of you today, Tuesday. It's mighty, mighty Tuesday, the 14th of October in the year of our spaghetti monster, 2014. Welcome one, welcome all to The Lefty Show. Hope to put on a great show for you today, episode number 101. We celebrated 100 episodes yesterday, Monday. And I want to send like I'm sending like a piece, like, hey, let me come at you there, big stroker. Let me mail you something, send you an email, maybe Instagram. Anyway, I want to thank everybody that showed support for the video, which was. The amount of likes that I saw, I just go by the amount of likes that I see in my Twitter feed. And it was out of the ordinary. And I want to thank everybody for doing that, everybody for supporting. I hope you identified with what I was trying to say, which is really, I think that's important. To identify, or to be able to identify with what somebody is saying. Because I can send out an indiscriminate thank you and have it not really mean anything. Because if I say, oh, well, thank you, thanks. You do it all the time, right? Somebody does something for you, you say, oh, thanks. You don't really mean it. Or to put it differently, it's not an out of the ordinary thank you. It's not an extraordinary thank you. It's just, oh, thanks. It's an acknowledgement. It's one of those things that we socialized humans do that we don't really think about. You say God bless you, regardless of your religious affiliation. You say God bless you, you say Gesundheit, you say something. Why? Why do you do that? What does it even mean? A waitress or a waiter brings you your food, which you ordered, which you're going to pay for, which you couldn't go up and get even if you wanted to. It's their job to do it, and you say thank you. They say, oh, thanks. Are you like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Oh, purveyor of food at Buffalo Wild Wings. Were it not for you and the other 20 lookalike women in your hot pants, your yoga pants, I would not have gotten this food. Thank you. Oh, God, I'm so famished. You say, oh, thank you. It's like a weird acknowledgement. And I do it too. Everybody does it. It's just one of those things that you have to do because you'd look like a real penis if you were just like, oh, yeah. The food comes, you go, oh, yeah, cool. Here we go. Let's eat. You say thank you because it's an acknowledgement of like, okay, well, you did something. But what they did is their job, and you could not have gone up to get the food yourself. They could have taken your order, and it's not like they put it out somewhere for you to get, but that person being up and going above and beyond the call of duty, it's a close cousin of my hero argument. You're not a hero. Don't tell me you're a hero. You know who's a hero? Superman. He didn't have to. He could just be Clark Kent and just be hanging out. Bruce Wayne, hero. He could just be a rich playboy. No, Bruce Wayne, sadly, does not actually exist. Although Gotham is trying to tell you that he does. New series on Fox. So it's one of those things where you just say, you're like, oh, thank you. And I said that in the video yesterday. But I hope that people were able to understand that I was actually being appreciative. And the likes, again, it's not, I'm trying not to sound as though the aggregate number of likes on a video, warms my heart. It's the people seeing my content, interacting with my content, consuming it, and anticipating it. That is what warms my heart. It could just be 5 people. I don't care. I'll go find something else to do and still create content for those 5 people. Won't be as often. But it's the anticipation, the connection that is evidenced by the connection that people have with the content and the anticipation they have for it and the appreciation they show for it. Doesn't have to be money. Doesn't have to be anything. Like, I completely forgot to do the propers, didn't I? My brain just forgot to do the propers. Damn it. Anyway, doesn't have to be monetary. But if you want to, imraising.com/643 productions. If you want to donate, NBA League Pass needs to be a thing because I want to watch the mighty, mighty boot, and LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, and Blake Griffin, and Anthony Davis. Damn it, I need NBA League Pass. Ah, son of a bitch. Oh, God. It's there. It's like there and I want it. But anyway, I digress. The appreciation that people show for what I do, what I have to say, even what I think. I'm just some a-hole behind a mic. I'm just a penis. Big D, le douche. Behind a mic. Very nice mic with a nice audio setup. But I'm still, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm not giving you profound insight. I'm giving you different insight, bordering on contrarian insight, but it's not profound. I'm not a master philosopher. You don't come to me and you're like, oh, well, this guy's got a thing here. I'll give you a different perspective. I'll give you a different take with my hot news takes. That's all I got. That's really it. I sound kind of nice, I guess. I can, put on a bit of a show once in a while. Once a fortnight, I can do it. And I want to thank everybody that took the time to watch the 100th episode of The Lefty Show. Appreciate it. Hear my message. Hear what I had to say. My long rambling message, which I know what it was, which is what this is turning into. And it really meant a lot to me to see everybody respond to that and to have people appreciate it. And I want to say thank you again. Yesterday, when I was recording the 100th episode, I was saying thank you for allowing me to get to 100 episodes. And today I want to say thank you to everybody that made that 100th episode so special. It wasn't anything special in terms of show. It wasn't really anything all that great. I kind of wanted to have Boogie on. I wanted to get Boogie. I'm trying to get Boogie. Talk about Gamergate and the like. We'll talk about that later in the show, too. But it didn't happen, obviously. But, I took some time to break that fourth wall a bit. And I think people really identified with it and liked it. And that made the show special, despite in format not being fundamentally different from any of the other 99 episodes that I had done. So thank you to everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Anyway, thank you to also everybody who's watching, liking, favoriting, subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can go to find the show. Thank you to everybody that's been following me on Twitter, which you can do at Lefty643 on Twitter or Twitter.com/Lefty643. And thank you to everybody that has been and will continue to share the show with friends, family, and coworkers. You can do your part to help the show grow wherever you get your podcasts for your PC, tablet, or mobile device. Android, iOS, it does not matter. Search The Lefty Show wherever you get your podcasts, and you will be sure to find us there. Subscribe to the feed, download all the episodes at your leisure. Thank you to everybody that has been donating. imraising.com/643 productions. That's imraising.com/643 productions. Your donations are graciously accepted and very much appreciated because NBA League Fast needs to be a thing so I can watch the boot. Anyway, now that we got all that done and onto the propers, I hate kids. Okay? I hate them. Here, let me tell you why. And feel free to file this away as point number 3,282 in the lefty is a curmudgeon-y old man brief. And briefs. Boxer briefs, kids. That's where it's at. It's a perfect joining of the two. Because you have the briefs, which make you feel like an old weird European man if you're just wearing the straight up briefs. And if they're white, well, then you got yourself some tighty whities and there's a stigma associated with it. Especially it doesn't do a whole lot to hide, some ineffective wiping. Or if you fart a lot in your sleep, you wake up and it's like, whoa, Mike, what did I do? So, you get some colored briefs. You're, feel like a weird European guy on a beach. Go up and putting your one foot on things and like shoving your junk into people's faces. Like LeBron, but not as athletically astute. Then you get the boxers on the other side of the spectrum. Now, boxers are nice, don't get me wrong. But they have this weird thing that they do where if they are cut just a little bit wrong, you get one of two things. You either get the boxers turn themselves into briefs because they work all the way up your thigh because they're so loosey-goosey. Or you get the boxers become restrictive of your leg movement because they're not elastic seams, they're just threaded seams. And, you go to bend a knee or you go to squat down or lift a leg, and it's your boxers restricting your movement. Those are the one of two things. But let me tell you, I found the best of both worlds. Hot ice. Hot ice. It's like hot ice. Some guys like to ice their arms, others like to heat, right? Brigma from Rookie of the Year. Hot ice was his invention. I'm here to tell you, all of you wandering underwear enthusiasts, boxer briefs is the way to go. Hanes makes a good product. So does Jockey. If you've got an extra few shekels squirreled away, go get yourself some Ralph Lauren polo. Boxer briefs where it's at. Anyway, where the hell was I talking about? Oh, yes. Anyway, curmudgeon-y old man. I hate kids. I went over the weekend with, was it over the weekend? No, it was late last week. Last week, I took Katie, girlfriend, to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. We went and did our thing there, and I've loved that place since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, my dad took me there, and it made science cool. That's what that was one of the building blocks, I think, for why I kind of meshed with science as I started to grow up and reason and I guess you could say skepticism. But my dad would take me a lot to the Museum of Science and Industry. It's not, the museum, look at these old bones, right, from prehistoric dinosaurs, which, all right, cool, I guess. Or, oh, look at this fanciful piece of art commissioned by a religious figure. All right, it's a couple swashes of paint, cool. It's really old and preserved. All right, yeah. Mm-hmm. The Museum of Science and Industry, to me, is really cool. And I've maintained a love for it even as I've gotten older. And I took Katie there, and I was like, this is going to be a thing. I'm going to take you there. I know it almost like the back of my hand. Let me show you around. There's new exhibits that I haven't seen. We got to go see it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to spend the whole day doing it. We're going to get up early, get some breakfast, coffee, and get to the museum. It's going to be awesome. So we go, and it's a Friday. We get there about 11:30, I want to say, which turned out to not be early enough. Which, damn it. But what I quickly realized was that a lot of schools tend to schedule their field trips to the Museum of Science and Industry on the same day, on Fridays. which I'm not going to hate if you are a kid, if you are a child in front of me, I am not going to immediately despise you. I will be wary of you. I will be, hey, what are you doing, kid? I'm going to watch you. Not like that. Not creepy. But I'm going to be on the lookout for you doing things that I don't like. And I'm going to stay away from you if at all possible. And what could have been a really, really, really fun experience turned out to just be a really fun experience. You know, it was awesome to go, the Henry Crown Space Center. You see the Gemini capsule and then the Apollo capsule. I believe it was Apollo 11, which was actually in space. It's right there. It was in space. In space. That was the one that orbited the moon, I want to say 10 times. And the famed Christmas Eve address from Jim Lovell, where he read selections from the book of Genesis from the Bible, which, I don't have any problem with that because the coolness of you broadcasting from orbiting the moon supersedes my the Bible. And it's right there. And it's just so cool. This was put together. This was, I don't know, I could talk all day about how cool it is. The space program, we decided from within a decade, from having only 6 or 7 years removed from World War II, and the Germans having the V-2 rockets, not Allied forces, having minimal understanding of rocketry, we decided we're going to go into space. And not only are we going to go into space, we're going to put man in space. And not only are we going to do that, we're going to send a man to the moon. And we did it. And it was done inside of a decade. So cool. But the Museum of Science and Industry has a bunch of cool things about it, a bunch of interactive exhibits where they teach you about, one of the really cool things was mapping brain functions. There's a whole section on the human body. And they had an exhibit where you could strap something to your head and it measured some brainwave. This isn't like scientific test conditions, but your brain is apparently emanating some kind of electromagnetic field. And these things you could put on your head would, map it. And you could play a little game with somebody else sitting across the table from you with this thing strapped on your head. Well, that would have been fun to do if there weren't a line of 15 children waiting to do it. And another exhibit that Katie started to make a beeline for, another kid just jumped in front. This is my exhibit now. I'm going to screw around with it. The other thing they've got about, I would say, 2/3 of a 727, a Boeing 727, strapped to the upper balcony of one of the wings of the museum, which is really cool. And they show you they have a full wing, and it's fully functional. They've got the leading edge stuff, whatever happens, and then it can go full flaps. Oh God! And you really don't have an appreciation for how cool avionics technology is until you see that Boeing 727 go from a clean wing to full flaps, and then from full flaps to clean again, and they clean it up and ready to go. And then you can go up to the upper on the second floor and go inside. We go up to the second floor, and I'm just moseying around. They have a cutaway of a jet turbine or a turbine jet engine. And kind of how it works, it compresses the air and then compresses the fuel and the air together and then combusts, and then it goes out this way. And the turbines are used to compress. And then, okay. I have no idea really how it works, or I couldn't build one on my own. I would blow myself up. But just, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, look at this. Oh, cool. You can see the wheel come down and hear the thrust reversers on the engine. So cool. There are two punk kids playing grab ass whatever, game it is kids play. And now this was a group of people just kind of milling about, adults, families not associated with this school field trip. And here are these two kids from the field trip weaving and running in and around other people, tripping other people, bumping into other people because these two punk-ass kids need to play grab ass, which I'm fine with. I know kids need to play grab ass. I know kids need to have that punk phase. I get it. Control your damn kids when they are in the presence of other people and you have some semblance of authority, whether you be a teacher, a proctor, or parents. Control your damn kids. Because I'm here trying to not even enrich myself, just, look at things that I couldn't possibly understand and go, holy crap, look at how cool that is. And these little bastards are running around tripping people. I got to worry about running into children who are just running around playing. Go outside. Go to a park. These kids clearly don't want to be here. They don't want to. And it was constant with that running around, playing. You're at a museum, not a park. And I have to question, why are you dragging these children to this place if they don't want to be here? I wanted to be here because my father, when I was young, kind of was like, hey, this is cool stuff. Let me show you how cool it is. Take a chance. And then we went once because I didn't want to go. I was like, I want to go play baseball or something. He's like, no. Come on, trust me. And we went and he showed me how cool it was. But if I really, really didn't want to go, he wouldn't drag me there. But you drag, and we do this all the time, and I have to ask, why do we do this? You drag kids to where they don't want to go. You make them do things they don't want to do. Like they really don't want to do. They just have no interest in. The kids don't have interest in playing sports. Many children don't have interest in playing sports. When I was a kid playing baseball, I saw, and I played travel baseball, little league, the whole nine, right? I saw kids who were brought there and placed there by their parents. They didn't want to be there. They wanted to go play video games, go to the park, go to the library, something else, anything other than this. But the parents or the authority figure, whatever it is, no, you're going to do this. Well, what the hell? Those two punk-ass kids who I really would, I know I would have gotten arrested and charged with a felony, but in a perfect world, they would have run into either me or my girlfriend. I would have grabbed them by their bastard-ass collars and said, listen, you little asshats, stop running around. Where's your authority? Who's responsible for you today? Take me to him. And then that person would say, I'm sorry, sir. It won't happen again. That's what should happen. But, no, you give these little bastards the run of the roost. And then, they're exploring their world around them. Well, let them explore it at a park because they clearly don't want to be here. And as evidenced by the fact that the entire time I saw, because there were many different classes of school children there. With there were the Catholic school children, there were the Chicago public schools, because I could tell because they were wearing the cheap uniforms, which the Chicago public schools has to instill. The many of Chicago CPS schools have uniform code because gang violence and gang colors and gang affiliation stuff. Aha! Woo! Go Chicago! Chirac, baby. Every single one of them. Every single group with teachers or chaperones, whatever their chaperones were, their time was not spent teaching them about here's why this exhibit is cool. Here's why, let's go look at the different stages of the human fetus, the different stages of how a human is actually grown inside another human. Let's go look at that, and I'm going to show you how cool it is. And which, by the way, Twitter followers at Lefty643, Katie kept me from making what I thought was an incredibly clever late-term abortion joke at that exhibit. So if you come to me for your late-term abortion humor, let it be on record that my humor was stifled by my girlfriend, whom I love very much. She thought I would get myself into trouble instead of just be funny. I disagreed, and I still disagree. But these chaperones spent all the time, every single one of them I saw, not explaining the coolness, not explaining the science or why the industry was so important or why all these things, not explaining any of it. It was, you stop that. Hey, stop chewing on him. Get back in line. Stop running around. Why are you taking these little bastards there anyway, then? Why are you making them go? They don't want to go. Just let them play their stupid video games on their stupid tablets or whatever the hell. And just let their brains turn into mush, because that's what they want. Let it be on the parents to take them to places like these. Let it be on the parents. You want your child to not be an idiot? How about you take an active role in the formulation and education of your child? Because really, parents today are using school as daycare. It's just, here. They just want to, it's like the operation machine. They just want to insert child and take out an educated human. I'm going to give you my child. I expect him back here educated, or her back here educated. Well, hold on. Maybe you should take a little bit of an active role in your child's education too. Huh? Yeah, you think? Maybe? Oh, no, you're too busy. You're too busy doing whatever it is that you do. So now the public schools, or the schools where you send your children, have to foist your little bastard children on other well-meaning people who just want to go to the damn museum to see some cool exhibits. So basically, everybody has to go donate imraising.com/643 Productions so that I can donate to the museum and get to a point on the donator scale where I'm invited to the after-hour soirees where people dress nice in suits with champagne on ice get to walk around at their leisure 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night in the museum without having to worrying about little asshat children running around. So basically, that's on you. imraising.com/643 Productions. And speaking of bastard children, what the hell is Gamergate? What is that? I've been saying it's gotten to the point where this Gamergate coverage, whatever it is, whatever Gamergate really is, I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't know. I've heard people talking about it, and I don't want anything to do with that. I saw it on Twitter months ago. People talking about Gamergate this, Gamergate that. I actually talked a little bit about Zoe Quinn, the catalyst. Like, oh, she's sleeping around and blah, 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 blah. Okay, or whatever. All right, yeah. Use that as an excuse to attack this girl because she's like a scene girl, and maybe she's sexually promiscuous and whatever. Whatever. Jagbags. I don't care. But now it's creeping into my other news outlets. Now, I cruise Deadspin looking for some mocking tone coverage of sports, and I got to read about Gamergate. And, of course, given Deadspin is a Gawker Media site, and Gawker has a definite slant to their coverage on all sites, I had to, it's how it's so stupid, how gamers are so awful, how this whole thing is a big nothing, and it's just an excuse for people to be a-holes to one another, which I don't necessarily disagree with, because people will look for any reason to be a-holes to one another. Just, F you, no, F you, no, just, ugh. But I found the coverage, at least what I saw, one-sided. So I made a sarcastic post on Twitter about Gamergate and all that stuff, and somebody linked me to another video saying, no, this is what Gamergate is all about. This is what it actually is. And it was a video purporting itself to whittle down Gamergate to 60 seconds. Like, I'm going to explain to you what Gamergate is in 60 seconds. And of course, what was explained in that video was nothing like what was explained in the Gawker Media piece, and nothing like what was explained elsewhere and I guess what you would call liberal media sites, liberal media outlets. And I see, I saw so many people talking about this and coming down on one side or the other. There's the extremist gamer gators who will harass you, threaten you. There was a woman forced from her home because of very, very serious and very specific death threats, which, by the way, people of the internet, death threats are not trolling. It's not. No. It's not trolling. People may do it to troll, to I don't know, what is it called? Do it for the lulz. The lulz. There may never be actual intent to make good on the threats, but responding to specific threats of violence made over the internet is not, again, I repeat, is not a losing response to trolling. Like, oh, you lost to the trolls. No. With some of the threats that have been thrown about, I saw to other media, people in the media, whatever side they are on in this Gamergate, because I know Boogie 2988, mentioned earlier in the show, has been trying to walk a line on this Gamergate thing, saying, well, hold on, you shouldn't be harassing women. You shouldn't be doing that. But also the journalistic integrity, the one of the mainstays or supposed mainstays of this movement is journalistic integrity in gaming. He said, well, that's a thing that we need to talk about. There needs to be a discussion about that because IGN, Doritos, and Mountain Dew. Duh. There needs to be a discussion about that. And he got his information thrown out and everybody harassing him, trying to, threaten him and do him harm. And he is as close to, on the other side, the opposing liberal side of Gamergate as you can get. So there's people being harassed on all sides, both sides, country and Western. And I realized at looking at all of it, and again, this is the commentary of an idiot. Just an idiot. I am an idiot from afar. You know that show, Idiot Abroad, with Carl Pilkington and Ricky Gervais and who's the other guy? He was the voice of a character in Portal 2. Did a great job. Idiot Abroad. I'm an idiot from afar. I'm just an idiot I'm not involved. I haven't done any, all right, let's get to the core of what Gamergate is here. We need to figure out what, okay, I'm not an investigative journalist. I'm not here to present both sides equally and unbiased. In fact, it's probably true that I don't understand both sides fully. But it appears to me that what we have here are perhaps well-intentioned people trying to make a point, and people on both sides being asshats to one another. You've got the people who want to make a well-intentioned point about journalistic ethics in gaming. Now, why they are still making this point under the vanguard of the movement that made very specific death threats and harassed other people. Why they're still doing it, I don't know. You just need to rebrand the image. You need to rebrand the movement. Like, all right, we're going to cut all this crap out, all this harassment stuff. We just want to talk about ethics in gaming journalism. That's all we want to talk about. New movement starting today. That's what needs to happen. And then there are the people on the other side who don't want to talk about ethics in journalism, who don't want to have that discussion for very obvious reasons. Because as a YouTuber, I've been approached a couple times, not nearly as many as other people who are actually, actual real deal YouTubers. But I've had a few sponsorship offers. I did a few with EA, and most recently with Chaos Heroes Online, sponsored this show for 2 episodes. Is there any reason at all you would honestly think that people who want to pay to promote a game would first go to YouTubers? Would first go to them? No. They went to IGN first. Or this, hey, what if we pay people to play a game early and then they can post videos of it or write about it on their blogs or tweet about it, and it will be advertisement for us as well as kind of a reviewish kind of thing. It's a great marketing ploy. YouTubers aren't the first people. You see it a lot now with Call of Duty. Call of Duty's doing that a lot. There's people posting Call of Duty gameplay commentaries like right now. I don't know how they're playing the game. It's supposed to be out in like a month, isn't it? I'm an idiot. But this sort of thing, of course that happened with the likes of Game Trailers, Destructoid, Kotaku. Of course those people were approached. Of course there's a wink and a nod like, all right, we'll get you the game early. Uh-huh, yeah. If you want to keep getting the game early, you maybe don't want to be so pointed about what it is that about what may suck about our games. Of course that happened first. Of course. Duh. And because these people have to have a business, these journalists, quote journalists, GameTrailers.com isn't supported by anything else. Destructoid isn't supported by anything else other than page views. And what drives page views? Timely reviews and content from upcoming video games. And how do you keep that coming? Well, you don't be so pointed in your reviews. You don't outright say this game sucks. You say this game could be better. That's a nothing statement. Saying this game sucks is a statement. That's a statement, my friend. But if you substitute this game could be better, you imply that this game sucks, but you don't really say it. You're kind of like, yeah. Of course that happened. And of course there are people on the other side that don't want to talk about it. And they don't want to talk about journalists being too close with their subjects. The same thing would happen if you brought it up in sports media. The same thing would happen and does happen when people outside of the respective sports beat question the integrity of those that are walking that beat or covering that beat. You're on the Bulls beat, the Bears beat, the Blackhawks beat. You say, well, wait a minute. You haven't really ever, this team sucks. And you haven't ever really said that this team sucks. Is that because you don't want to have your credentials pulled? I'm questioning your journalistic integrity, your ethics. Of course, yeah, the same thing would happen. So you have people who want a subset of the Gamergate people, as I understand, again, idiot, who want to talk about a legitimate thing. And they've stuck with branding that is bad because there are other extremists on their side who just want to harass people, who just want to go about it like a bull in a china shop. Like, no, screw you, you MFer, I'm going to get you. Then there are people on the other side who don't really want to talk about it and will instead, or would rather, talk about the extremists and have other people believe, outsiders, idiots like me, believe that is the whole of Gamergate. That, oh, well, that's what Gamergate is. It's the crazy people that will harass you. No, that's certainly a part of it, yeah. And again, why the well-intentioned people who want to have an informed discussion and debate about the gamer identity, about journalistic ethics in gaming news coverage, call it something else. Rebrand it. We're talking about something. We're going to forget that, or that was bad. We don't want to be associated with that. Here we go. Because people say, we don't want Gamergate isn't that. All right, we'll stop associating with it. Call it something else. It's like radical. It's like people of the Muslim faith saying, well, you can't lump us in with ISIS because they're just extremists. Not all Muslims are extremists. Well, yeah. Well, then why do you associate with them? Why do you go to the same imams? Why do you send money back to relatives living under the rule of this extremist leader? Why do you support them in any way? Stop it. So they've got a branding issue. And then on the other side, you've got people that, la, 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 la. Let's not talk about how I get games early, la, 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 and drive page views, la, 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 and Twitter followers, la, la, la. Oh, wait a minute. There's extremists on that one side that are really attacking other people. Let's pretend that's Gamergate. Yeah, that works. It's all crap. People who want to have a discussion or a debate or whatever or reform to something are allowing their message to be tarnished by extremists in their own ranks, and the people on the other side are using the extremists to extrapolate all of the movement. It's just all crap. Of course, journalists are going to be a little bit too. There's going to be a time when if all you do is cover gaming developers, if all you do is cover them, of course you're going to get too close. Of course you're going to get buddy with them, or maybe even have sex with them. And of course that is going to come into play when you're writing your story. Of course. You're not. I know it's. And should they do something? Are they blithely going about their lack of integrity? I don't know. Again, an idiot from afar. But you should know, whenever you read, if you're a sports fan and you read regular news coverage from somebody that covers your sporting beat, you should take what they say with a grain of salt. You should say, when they make opinionated statements, when they say, the Bears are okay, you go, wait a minute, covering that beat. And if you're just the Bears suck, you're going to have your credentials pulled. And you're not going to have a job anymore. So you're kind of incentivized to not say the Bears suck. Has it gone too far? I don't know. Does a discussion need to be had? Sure. But if you're on the gamer, if you're, I don't know, pro, anti-Gamergate, I don't even know who's pro, who's anti. What the hell? If you want to have a discussion about journalistic ethics, call it that. Gamergate has nothing to do with journalistic ethics. Nothing at all. Have that discussion. Well, what about the people that harass you? Well, I haven't harassed anybody. I don't know. Well, talk to them. Why? People who want to have a discussion being marred by bad branding, extremists in their ranks, and then people that don't want to have the discussion pretending that the extremists represent the entirety. It's all just a bunch of crap. Whatever. And the gaming identity. Oh, the gamer identity. Here's what I really think it is. I think it's a group of people. I don't know. I don't want to talk about racial makeup or anything like that, but if you're a gamer, if you're on Twitter, if you are in the mix, in the fray of Gamergate a lot, you're probably not looking for pennies. You're probably not wondering where your next meal is coming from. Probably not. Maybe there's a few, but odds are you're doing okay. Whether you're supporting yourself or, you're living with family or whatever, you are not, you have enough time to worry about this. And I think it's a group of people who want to have their moment, their movement, their cause. Because there's the feminist cause. There's the affirmative action cause for minorities. There's the religious persecution cause. And then there's the atheist cause. There hasn't been a cause for gamers. There hasn't been one. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, you're people that play video games. Now there's been a lot of stigma and completely the other way. There's been a stigma about gaming and being a gamer for a long time. Oh, it's gamers. Well, now gamers are growing up, entering the workforce, making more money, becoming an economic power unto their own. And I think some people are just, where's my movement? Okay, I have a real legitimate voice now. I buy 20 games a year because I can afford it. or I consume a lot of media because I have the phone and I'm, in the news and want to hear about it. This is my version of sports, of the NFL, of fantasy football. I have a real voice now. Where's my movement? And you hear some people say, well, the gamer identity is dying. Whatever the hell that gamer identity is, I don't know. And then the response to that is, well, wait a minute, where's my movement? Her Gamergate. And that, I think, accounts for the fervor. That accounts for the hostility. It's okay. It's people looking to find their place in society. It's not okay to go around threatening people. It's not okay to do that. And it's not okay to be disingenuous about exactly who is doing what to whom and when. Because there's people doing it to each other on both sides. But to pretend that it's only one side doing it to the poor, hapless, doe-eyed others, that's just not true. And that's disingenuous. It's all, when is it going to go away? Somebody either explain it to me, because I'm sure I've gotten it wrong, and tell me when it's going to go away. Because it's all over. It's just everywhere. Gamergate, Gamergate, Gamergate. I think CNN is covering it. Business Insider had stories about it. Can we talk about other things now, please? It's been going on for a long-ass time. Let's do some news. All right, we got a lot to talk about in the news today. Speaking of things that we do to ourselves for apparently no reason, I have been one, you listeners of this show know that I've been one to talk about society putting people in jail ad nauseum and how stupid that is. This is from PBS.org. Police arrest one of 20 clowns terrorizing a county in California, by Rebecca Jacobson. If the movies It and Killer Clowns from Outer Space gave you the heebie-jeebies, there's another reason to be scared of clowns. An outbreak of clowns in the San Joaquin Valley is terrifying residents. On Thursday, here's the money part of this. On Thursday, a 14-year-old boy dressed as a clown was arrested for scaring a neighborhood child on Thursday night. The teenager was charged with annoying a minor. The disturbance was one of 20 reports from Kern County in the last week of clowns terrifying children. Police have received reports of clowns wielding guns, machetes, and baseball bats. I'm sure you've heard of this. You see people, guys dressed up in clown suits with a scary clown mask. It started with a picture of a guy at night, a clown in a scary clown mask holding balloons on a park bench at night. And then other pictures surfaced of clowns at night in a park. And, Halloween, and it's that time of year where we'd like to scare ourselves and like, oh, the creepiness, okay. And that's what this all was. No assaults that I'm aware of. Nobody threatening, I'm a killer clown that's gonna get you. It's just a guy basically doing performance art. Right? I'm going to stand on the street corner with a baseball bat and a scary clown mask in a clown outfit at night, and I'm not going to move, but you're just going to be freaked out by it. You're going to do it to yourself, which is what happens when you go into a haunted house or when you go into a scary movie. You know you're not going to be hurt in the haunted house, and you know what you're seeing isn't real when you go to the movie, unless you're watching a snuff film. The scare comes from your mind doing it. You do it to yourself. And that's what happens here. At least as I knew. Again, now, there have been reports of clowns carrying guns. I'd like to know more about that. Can you grant a concealed carry license to Bozo? I don't know. But I want to take you back. On Thursday, a 14-year-old boy dressed as a clown was arrested for scaring a neighborhood child on Thursday night. The teenager was charged with annoying a minor. Okay. A 14-year-old dressed as a clown in mid-October was arrested and charged with annoying a minor. Now, I talked yesterday about the upskirt laws, and it's creepy and stupid, but it's not illegal, and it shouldn't be illegal. Because all you're doing is, one, criminalizing weirdos, which being weird is, well, weird, but it's not a crime. And also, you're positively reinforcing the notion that your discomfort should be, the cause of your discomfort should be criminalized. It perpetuates the notion that you somehow have an unalienable right to be comfortable, to be free from discomfort of any sort. Creepiness from a guy trying to look at your hoo-ha or your wang. Or scariness, being scared from a creepy clown standing at night, and your brain's like, oh my God, creepy clown, run away. Oh, I'm discomfort. Those are both discomfort. Those are discomforting. Your comfort has been disrupted. That's not a crime. It's not a crime. But honestly, and it's reported as news. And nowhere in the article does it say, holy crap, we arrested a 14-year-old for annoying somebody. Which, listen, what should have happened, when I talked about what happened at the museum, I should have grabbed the kid by the collar if he ran into me or tripped my girlfriend, picked him up by his stupid-ass collar and dragged him to his stupid-ass handler and said, handle this. No crimes. I shouldn't have been arrested, nor should the kid have been arrested, because he's just a punk-ass kid. This 14-year-old going around scaring people in a clown mask, assuming he's doing nothing else illegal, like illegally carrying a handgun or assaulting people with a weapon, is just being a punk. I'm scaring you, yeah. Just a punk kid, whatever. And he's discomforting people, sure. It's not a crime. Here's what you do. If he was being relentless and a little bastard about it, here's what the cop does. You grab him, you put him in cuffs, you sit him in the back of a squad car, and you sweat him. Just for a little bit, 30 minutes. That's all, 40 minutes maybe. Certainly no longer than an hour. Absolutely no longer than an hour. But you put him in cuffs, you sit him in the back of a squad car, and you go get a cup of coffee or something. You let him sit there, sweat. Because then he's going to be thinking, holy crap, I'm going to jail. Oh my God. Because if he's relentless and being a bastard about it, you know, if somebody's like, all right, dude, I get it, you're playing a bit. Okay, you know, stop freaking me out or stop freaking my kid out, please. And then if he continues to do it, well, that's wrong. It's not a crime. Shouldn't be a crime, but it's, you know, all right. Here's your comeuppance. Cop grabs you, claps you in irons, puts the bracelets on you, and you sit in the back of a squad car for a bit. And then either the cop takes you home or lets you out of the back of the squad car, and he's like, and then tells you, don't do this anymore. You had your fun, go home. That's it. That is justice. Why do we do this where everything is a crime? How could anybody, anywhere read the sentence, the teenager was charged with annoying a minor and not be, oh, what? That's a crime? How could anybody anywhere read that? It shouldn't have happened. The arresting officer, who's the officer? Oh, yeah, gonna get him. Come on. Kids are annoying. Kids will do annoying things. Punks will be punks. We already have a bunch of laws to cover criminal acts. Annoying a minor is not a criminal act. It doesn't need its own ordinance. It doesn't need its own state law. It doesn't need its own federal law, whatever the level is. It doesn't need it. If the guy was assaulting a minor is already a crime. But scaring a minor, annoying a minor, is not a damn crime. Why do we do this? Oh, yeah, well, you know, it's a bad thing. You got to keep the bad people away. Just a guy in a scary clown mask. Scary, sure. Might have a little crap in your pants now. A little poop. But that's all. Now this kid's got an arrest record? Really? For what? Annoying a minor. 14 years old. 14 years old. God bless. God bless America. Speaking of literally doing things to ourselves, this is from nymag.com. New York City has apparently paid out $500 million in NYPD-related settlements over the past 5 years. $500 million, $500 million or thereabouts over the last 5 years. So, average it out to $100 million a year in settlements related to acts of the NYPD. Why? If you live in New York, if you live anywhere in New York, you should want to have the NYPD disarmed. Just disarm them all. New cops, better cops, something. Because what this says, and again, it's even it even comes in the form in the title of the article. The city has paid almost $500 million in NYPD-related settlements over the past 5 years. Where does the city's money come from? The public. The public has paid, and even revenue sources that the city apparently owns, and how the city can own anything. But even if we assume that the city owns this revenue stream, who funds it? The public. The public has paid out nearly $500 million in NYPD settlements over the last 5 years alone. That's your money. You pay the cops to screw with you, and then the cops give you your own money back as settlement. Get better police officers. Like, seriously, how much would it cost to, over a 5-year period, completely either retrain or restaff the ranks of the NYPD with better trained officers? With strict physical PT requirements, strict constitutional training, firearms discipline, firearms training, because remember that whole thing about 2 NYPD officers engaging in a shootout with a shooter in Times Square, and all their bullets miss, and they struck 3 bystanders or something like that? Firearms training, all that stuff. Sensitivity training, hey, don't be a racist douche training. Don't go roust black people. How much could that possibly cost? $250 million? $250 million? You save half over the jackbooted thugs that are walking around New York City right now. You save half. Not the city, and again, not the city. The city doesn't save half. The people save half. The people save $250 million. Born from real estate tax, all kinds of other crazy taxes. We do this to ourselves. We put 14-year-olds in jail, and then New York City, I don't even want to know what the real estate taxes in New York City are. But you've got all this incredibly high tax rate, all these taxes, all this stuff. You got to pay sales tax, cigarette taxes, liquor taxes, all these things. New York City is making gobs of money. And then their jackbooted thugs police go out and screw with people, and then your money is paid out by your governors, at the city level at least, to the tune of $500 million over 5 years to go, oh yeah, our cops killed another guy. Oh, another one, another bum. Yeah, let's go to the bank of the people to pay out to the people their money as settlement. And again, this is another notch in the belt of the people that call for personal liability of police officers. Why can't, if I go to NYPD and I'm assaulted by a police officer, if I'm put in a chokehold and killed or maimed by a police officer because I was selling cigarettes, what? And I'm like, no, screw you, you're not arresting me. And then they put me in a chokehold and I'm brain dead. Why can't I go after, or why can't the people, my people, why can't my people go after the cop personally? What, you got a house? You got money squirreled away somewhere? You got a car? You got a bank account for your kid's college fund? Well, that's now forfeit. Your money is now our money. Not the people's money is then paid out to the people you screw with. No, your money, your property is now liable for the things that you do under the color of law. Why? Wouldn't that be a great way to strike at the heart of all this police brutality? Ferguson. See all the time. Oh my God, look at all the things that Ferguson did. If those yokel fat police officers had their pensions on the line, like, we will take money out of your pension fund when you screw with these people wrongly, don't you think they go, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't go roust these black people. Maybe that's not such a good idea, Johnson. But, oh no, the thin blue line, and don't talk about it. We're protecting people, keeping them safe, and paying out $500 million over 5 years. Final story, a Mexican activist killed on air during a radio show in Mazatlan. 2 gunmen walked into a radio station and killed a local activist while he was presenting his weekly radio program, prosecutors in the northern Mexico state of Sinaloa said. It was the first on-air killing in recent memory in Mexico. I saw this story, I clicked on it, and I had to read you that sentence. It was the first on-air killing in recent memory in Mexico. Is there any other barometer? Is there any better barometer, I should ask, for your country or your state or whatever or your society is so screwed up? Is there a better barometer than it was the first on-air killing in recent memory in Mexico? Like, hey, have we had an on-air killing recently? Like, there's one, I think, 8 or 9 months ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I think a guy got popped on the radio live. I think a guy got killed. I'm not exactly sure, though. If you need to say, well, this guy got popped on the radio, this guy got killed. Oh, yeah, he got killed? Has that ever happened before? Because if it's never happened, the answer is easy. No, it's never happened. Never happened. Of course not. We would remember something like that. But if your response to, oh, man, a guy was killed on the air, huh? Has that ever happened before? If your response is, not in recent memory, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago, but I don't know. Not in recent times. How screwed up do you have to be? Get it together, Mexico. Let's bring it home. Thank you, everybody, for watching, liking, favoriting, and subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can find the show in its YouTube formation, as well as gaming and vlogging content. And again, thank you to everybody for listening to the show. I had a great time putting on the show for you. I hope you had a great time listening. Outro is screwed up. Thank you to everybody that's been donating. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions is where you can go if you want to donate to the show, help out monetarily, studio costs, NBA League Pass, all those things. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing the show, helping the show grow by sharing it with friends, family, and co-workers. Wherever you get your podcasts for your PC, tablet, or mobile device, Android, iOS, it doesn't matter. Search The Lefty Show. Be sure to subscribe and download all the episodes. Share it. Help the show grow. Thank you for doing that. Anyway, thank you to everybody for following me on Twitter at Lefty643. That's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time. I'm out. Bye. everybody has affinity for cock.